things that would have made it a less overwhelming experience for me would have been if I would have been more prepared for court.
Case planning is the process of the parent and the family coming together to make a plan. They come together with the agency to make a plan for resolving the issues that brought them to the attention of the agency. Usually case planning is really focused on child safety. What are the issues that are making the child unsafe in mom or dad's house, and how do we resolve them?
If a family needs to be accepted for services, we will be explaining to the family what that process looks like in developing a family service plan to help the child remain safely in their home.
Family group decision-making is an opportunity for families to enjoy a process where they receive help from a facilitator to talk about their issues and problems and strengths and concerns for their family. And then during that process, they have the opportunity to meet privately without the providers to decide for themselves how they can support each other and help raise their family and children.
It's really important that parents understand that the case plan is part of the court proceeding. The judge will usually receive the case plan as evidence, and then at every hearing the judge will be asking the agency and you, what progress has mom or dad made in meeting the goals on the case plan?
It is so important that we hear your voice and know your choice in decision making. Not only is it the law, but it is best practice that we encourage you to invite those that know your family best to help and support you in developing your goals that will assist you in safely raising your children.
The caseworker helps the parent accomplish their goals by meeting with the families initially and identifying what their issues, problems, or concerns are. We have a meeting with the parents and the children. The agency is involved.
Anyone who a family identifies as a support or a connection to them, they are able to be a part of the case planning process. It's important for families to feel supported and like they have a team available to help them with achieving their goals.
I became aware that I couldn't navigate this on my own. I had to be humble enough to ask and reach out to people who I knew. If I was proud and if I was thinking I could do it myself, I'm not sure my children would have been returned.
A caseworker will help the parents accomplish their goals by making referrals, assisting in them contacting a provider, such as if there needs to be a drug and alcohol evaluation, the caseworker can help contact a drug and alcohol provider and help set up an intake appointment. They can refer them to other agencies, provide them with resources.
A caseworker absolutely will be held accountable if a parent is not meeting their goals, okay? That's the whole point of goal planning. My name is on that sheet just as well as the parent's name, the outside agency's name, the child's name. The parent has a goal, the caseworker has a goal.
When this first started, I did feel a little bit intimidated by my CYF caseworker. I did see her as some kind of enemy, but once I realized that she was there for a reason, I had to own up to everything that I did. It's not like I was being a great mom one day and they just walked in and got involved. So I had to see the part that I played in it.
What I tell parents is work with me, let's solve the problem. If you don't work with me and you resist me, you not open the door, not answer my phone call, this could lead to court. And you don't want to go to court because once it's in court, it's out of my hands. It's out of your hands. It's up to the master or the judge.
Going through this process and seeing the person that I'm becoming and the growing that I'm doing makes me realize that everybody was not out to get me. And end result, I'm a much better parent.
When you're in your case plan meeting, this is the time to ask for the help that you need. So if the agency is giving you a goal, it's really important that you tell the agency, I'm going to need help with that goal. So for instance, if the agency is having you do visits as one of your goals, which is an incredibly important goal, you can ask the agency for help with transportation or help setting up a visit at a time that doesn't conflict with your work schedule. It's just incredibly important that you use the case planning process as an opportunity to say what you need help with to get your goals accomplished.
My caseworker helped me meet the goals by well, first I had to communicate with her. I had to tell her, like, I'm struggling here, or I feel like this isn't going the way that I would like it to. And the more I communicated with her, the more research she would do for me, or she'd find different workshops or things for me to read. She had a lot of information.
As a parent involved in a dependency proceeding, you're going to get a lot of documents, and it can be really confusing to identify what document is what. One document you'll get is your case plan, and sometimes it has different names. It may be called a single case plan, it may be called a family service plan, and you should be familiar with what your county uses as their term. Another document you will have is your child permanency plan. Another document you may have is your court order, and actually you should make sure that you have all your court orders in one place and that you know what they say. And a final document you may see is a safety plan, and that's a plan that you're making with the agency to keep your child safe. The documents that are going to come up most in court are the court order and your case plan.
Ask questions. If there's something that you read in your case plan, if you don't understand it, you call your CYF caseworker, call your parent advocate, make sure that you understand everything that's going on.
I didn't understand everything in my court order. The wording was unfamiliar to me, so I contacted my lawyer about any questions that I had.
Ultimately, if you don't understand something about your case, if you don't understand the objectives that have been set for you or why a particular objective has been set for you, ask and make sure you have that conversation. Because if you don't understand it, then there's no real way you're going to be likely to achieve it.
It's really important to keep track of your progress on meeting your goals. So you're going to be given a long list of goals to accomplish, and at every hearing the judge is going to be reviewing how did you do in accomplishing those goals. At that point, it becomes so critical that you're getting the documentation of your completion of your programs. So you need to make sure that you have evidence that you've done whatever goals the judge has asked you to do. So that's where the magic folder comes in. I love it when my clients come to court with this folder of all the documents that are evidence to show to the judge what they've done to meet their case plan goals. So if you have a parenting class, make sure at the conclusion of that class that you get your certificate. That certificate is going to need to be shown to the judge. If you have a drug and alcohol treatment program, make sure you get your certificate from your program or a letter from your treatment provider saying that yes, mom or dad has been going to their treatment program. That folder of documents is so critical when you go to court because the judge is not going to want to just hear testimony that you're doing these things. He or she is going to want to see hard evidence that you're doing them.
Nobody knows you better than you know yourself. When I was working on my case plan with my CYF caseworker, I let her know my strengths, my weaknesses, how I wanted to see me and my son's situation play out, but most importantly, what was best for him.